Hi guys, welcome to Mr. Cloudbook channel. In this particular video, we are going to discuss about how to install Terraform and how to install AWS CLI on our local machine. And we will provision an EC2 instance. With the user data, we are going to install Jenkins on the EC2 instance and SonarQube. And finally, we are going to install Trivia also. Okay, so let's get started. This is the process we are doing now in this particular video. So we write the main.tf file for our launching AWS EC2 instance, and we use the user data. Okay, so using the Terraform, we are going to run this particular user data on our EC2 instance to install Jenkins and to install Docker. With the Docker, we are going to run a container SonarQube. Okay, so finally we are going to install Trivia on this particular system. So with the Terraform, we are going to provision the EC2 instance, and we will install Jenkins, Docker, and SonarQube and Trivia on the same missions. Okay, so let's open a new tab and search for the Terraform download. I don't have the Terraform installed on my local. Okay, first go to the Terraform download and you can see install Terraform. Click on the first result and you can see we are going to download on the Windows. So I have the Windows machine, that's why I'm selecting the Windows operating system. You can see this is the latest version, so 1.6.1. so AMD, so my version is 64-bit. okay, so that's why I'm selecting the AMD 64 and click on download. So and it will start download. You can see our Terraform is started downloading. So let's go back to your file explorer and go to downloads, and you can see here our Terraform is downloaded. Double tap here and you have to extract this particular Terraform exe file. Okay, so click on extract. I'm going to extract this particular Terraform exe file to local disk C. So selecting the local disk and click on plus, and I already have the one directory called Terraform. So let's open that one and click on OK. So it will extract to my C drive. Okay, so let's close this and go back to my C drive. And so you can see our Terraform file is now moved to local drive C. Okay, so click here on the name. You can see, so this PC local disk and C Terraform. So you have to click here and copy the path, and let's search for the env here, env, and you have to click on edit the system variables, and you have to click on environment variables here, and you have to click on path and click on edit and new and paste the copied C drive and Terraform. Okay, click on OK. And now system variables, so you have to add an user variables for admin on the path, and on the system variables you have to click on path and click on edit, and you have to click on new and paste it. Okay, so by default we already have this one. Okay, so let's delete one, and because we added here. Okay, so click on OK and click on OK and click on OK. So our Terraform is installed on our local machine. So if you want to know our Terraform is installed or not, just search here cmd and enter. If you provide the Terraform hyphen version here, and you will get the Terraform version. Now you can see Terraform is installed. So let's close this one. In order to provision EC2 instance on our AWS, we need the AWS CLI also. Let's go to the browser and search for the AWS CLI. Open a new tab and search for AWS CLI and enter. And you can see command line interface AWS CLI. Click on this one. For the Windows, you have to select this one and click on 64-bit, and you can see it will automatically started downloading. So that is done. Go back to your file explorer again, so downloads, and you can see AWS CLI is installed here, and double tap here and you can see it started installing. Okay, and you have to click on next and accept the terms, and next and install. So it will take some time to install. Okay, so click on finish. And if you want to know the AWS CLI is installed or not, you have to click on here, and if you search for the cmd here, and cmd automatically open here, and if you provide AWS hyphen version, and you can see the AWS version also, and you can see AWS CLI also is installed on my system. Okay, and close this one, and let's go back to this PC and go to the desktop. I'm creating a new folder for my Terraform. Okay, so new folder, so Terraform here and enter, and go into the inside and right click, open with code, Visual Studio Code. Okay, so meanwhile come back here and let's go back to your AWS console once. So we don't need this anymore. Close these tabs. Okay, so we have to click on launch instance. So in order to create an instance, okay, so we have to know, right, what are we are providing for the launching instance manually. And go back to Visual Studio Code, and let's create a file and provide the name as main.tf here and enter, and create another file for provider.tf also. So because we need the provider.tf also, .tf and enter. So all you have to do is go back to your browser and open a new tab and search for the provider.tf here, Terraform AWS, and click on AWS provider here, and this is the example usage you have to use. Okay, so just copy this one up to the provider, right click and copy it, and go back to Visual Studio Code and paste the provider.tf, the copied code. Okay, so change the region. Okay, I want to create my AWS EC2 instance in AP South once, means Mumbai. Okay, and save this one and close the provider.tf, and we have to create an AWS EC2 instance, right? Go back to here and console. What we are going to create, we are going to provide the name. So for the launching of the instance, we are selecting the Ubuntu, right? So select the Ubuntu. So meanwhile, go here, open a new tab and search for the AWS instance resource, okay, or Terraform resource, anything one, and you have to click on AWS instance resources. Click on this one. So in order to create an EC2 instance, you can use these any templates. Okay, so these are the examples you have to use to create an EC2 instance. So I just wanted these resources. Let me copy this and go back to main.tf file and paste those. Okay, so, and let's remove these values. Okay, and delete and delete. Okay, so go back to AWS console first. So you can see first the name and tags. Okay, we are going to provide any name. Okay, so that's why we are using the tags here. Okay, you can see here. So change the name to whatever you want. Okay, so I'm just providing the Jenkins SonarQube and save this one. And for the AMI, okay, go back to AWS console. We already selected the Ubuntu, right? If you go here and you have to copy this particular AMI, so copy this one, and you can see this is the AP South one. Okay, so for the different regions, you have the different AMI IDs. Okay, so this is only available for only Mumbai region, so that's why I'm copying this particular one, and you have to come here and you have to paste that one. Okay, and within the double quotes you have to provide. Okay, so save this one, and let's go back to console, and you can see for the next we are selecting the instance type. Let's select T2 large because we are going to install Jenkins and SonarQube on the same instance, right? That's why we need the T2 large. So that's why I'm going with the T2.large, and go back to instance and come down within the double quotes T2.large here. Okay, and click on save. And if you want to key pair name also, you can see for the next we are going to use the key pair here. Okay, so for the key pair name you can directly search here. Okay, open a new tab and search for the AWS key name resource. Okay, everything you have to search on the here only. Okay, on the browser itself, and you can directly write your Terraform files easily. Okay, and you can see you can directly provide your key name like this. Just copy this one and go back to your Visual Studio Code and paste here. And let's go back to my AWS console once, and you can see we will create the security group later. Okay, and we will add this particular storage. Okay, for the configure storage. Okay, so I want the storage, so that's why I want to add my storage. Okay, so come here after the tags, I want the storage. Okay, root block device, so volume size. Okay, so how much size you want? We want 30 GB, so I'm providing just 30 here, and click on save this one, and you can see for the security group. Okay, so let's go and search for the security group also, and you can search here AWS security group Terraform. Okay, so search for that one, and you have to click on the first result, and you can see come down. Okay, all you have to do is just copy these results. Okay, just copy till the end. Okay, copy and come back to our main.tf file and click on enter and paste that one and click and save. And you can see we are not using any VPC ID here, and I don't want that one. Clear that. So and you can provide any description you want. Okay, and you can name anything also you can provide here. For this Jenkins we are using, right? Let's provide the name as Jenkins -sg, and the name also you can provide anything you want. And I am going with the Jenkins SG only. So SG and allow inbound traffic rules. So that is fine. And for the name also security group name. So Jenkins -sg. Click on save. And I want the 22 port also. And meanwhile remove this CIDR block. Okay. I don't want with the VPC main because we are not mentioning any VPC here. And just close this. I want to open port for everything 0.0.0.0/0. Okay, and save. And I don't want IPv6 also. Let's remove this one. So just save it here, and this is the outbound rule. Okay, and you have to remove the IPv6 CIDR here also. IPv4 is enough for our requirements now till now. So let's copy this ingress and go down here and paste a new one and enter and enter and paste new one and enter and new one. Okay, save this, and you can provide any description. And for the port I am going with the 22 here. So we need the 22. So description is SSH, and 443 and HTTPS and HTTP. You can provide whatever you want. Okay, so HTTPS I'm providing normally. Okay, and here HTTP and use the 80, and you can see 2 port also 80. And let's go here and provide the Jenkins. So 8080 we want. Okay, so Jenkins and open 8080 and 8080 here, and you can see and save. So this is how you have to write your EC2 instance main.tf file. Okay, so we added the security group, and we added the volume, and we added the key name also. And let's provide the key. Go back to console, and you can see go back to EC2 instance here, and you can see on the left side security groups and key pairs. This key pair is available for me, so remember the name Mumbai, and you have to provide the same name here. Okay, remove the old one and delete it and write the same name, so Mumbai, and save that one. And you have to add this particular security group. Okay, so we created the security group and we didn't attach it to my EC2 instance, right? So let's go and do that. And you have to provide VPC _ security group .ids, and you have to open a string like this, and all you have to do is and AWS security group .sg and .id. Okay, and click on save, and you can see where did you get this one. Okay, we get this one from the here. Okay, so all you have to see is AWS security group, and we have the same thing here, and Jenkins.sg, and we have the same thing here. All we added is ID here. That's the thing. Okay, so we have to add this particular security group, right? So that's why we are providing here. So use this particular security group for this instance, and you have to click on enter and save. And let's open a terminal here. Okay, and you have to click on terminal and new terminal here. I'm not using any variables.tf file here because these are the normal things. Okay, and let's check our code first by providing Terraform init and enter. So it will initialize and install every dependency. Okay, so our Terraform is initialized. Okay, so in order to provision our EC2 instance, we need the AWS configure also. Let's clear the screen and go back to AWS console here, and search for the IAM. Okay, so we need the IAM user. So go back to IAM and you have to click on the left side. You have to click on users and click on create user. So I already have the user. Okay, so let's create a user and provide the name anything you want. I am just providing the name as Terraform here, and you have to click on user access, and I just want to create an IAM user and everything is same, and click on next and attach policies directly, and you can directly provide the only EC2 permissions, but I am going with the administrator access complete, so don't go with this one. Okay, so I will delete this particular Terraform user later. So for the best practice, you have to open only EC2 full access. Okay, so just we are going to create a EC2 instance only. Okay, and you have to click on next and you have to click on create a user, and if you want to download this, you can download. Meanwhile, I am going to delete this one. However, let's close this one and come back to users and click on continue and select the Terraform, and you have to click on security credentials here, you can see, and you have to click on access keys here. You have to create an access key for the CLI, right? So just select the CLI and agree the conditions and click on next, and you have to provide create access. So let's copy this access token and go back to Visual Studio Code, and you have to provide AWS and configure here, enter, and you have to paste the token that you copied, the secret access key, and click on enter, and you have to copy the secret access key also. You have to download this particular CSV file, okay, for the reference. So but I am deleting this one, right? That's why I am not downloading this one, and you have to click on add the secret access key also and click on enter. I'm going with the default reason AP South one, enter, and default format is JSON is enough for me, and enter. So our AWS is configured. Okay, and let me clear the screen, and you have to provide the Terraform plan here, okay, to see what resources it's creating. Okay, meanwhile let's increase the size also. Okay, and you can see it's creating the 2 resources. Okay, so you can see it's creating 22 and 8080 and 80, and all port open for the outbound. So it's creating a security group, and it's creating a volume size with 30 GB, and you can see we are not using any user data here. Okay, that's why it's set to false, and we are creating an EC2 instance with AMI, this one. So let's go and apply this one. Let's clear the screen and provide the Terraform, apply, enter. So you don't have to provide the auto approve here. Okay, so for the best practice, for the learning also, go with the Terraform apply, and you have to provide S here and click on enter, and you can see it's creating the security group first. Okay, and it will attach it to our EC2 instance. Okay, and you can see apply is completed. If you go back to AWS console, and let's open EC2 in a new tab, right click and open a link in a new tab, and you can see our one instance is running. Let's click on this one. So you can see our instance is created with the Jenkins SonarQube name, and instance type is T2 large, and you can see our key pair is also set to Mumbai. Okay, so let's see the storage also. Click on storage, and you can see storage is set to 30 GB here. Okay, so till now we launched the EC2 instance only. Okay, so you can see here, and you can see here, or let me close this one. Okay, so our file is looking so lengthy. Okay, for the security groups, we need the 9000 port also for our SonarQube. Okay, so you can see we didn't open 9000, so I don't want to add this much file, I mean in this much lengthy file for our inbound. Okay, I don't want like this. Okay, so first of all, let's delete this one by providing the Terraform destroy -- auto approve -approve, enter, and it will destroy everything. Okay, and you can see here our resources is destroyed, and let's go to console and let's check whether it's destroyed or not. Just refresh here, and you can see no matching instance is found. Okay, so that means it's destroyed. So let's go back, and I don't want to open all these ports. I'm like I don't want this lengthy ingress. Okay, So for every port I am not so for the every ingress I don't want to write like this. Okay, so I want to open every port from the single ingress only. Okay, so let's delete that one. So let's delete all ingress from here. Let's add our ingress file now for all ports for the single ingress only. Okay, so let's write the ingress here. Select that one ingress. So open a curly brace, brackets, square brackets, and let's enter. I want to use the for loop here for a port in. So open square brackets. So I want 22 port, comma, and 80 port, comma, 443, and comma, and let's go with the 8080. I also want because of the Jenkins, and 9004 for our SonarQube. And you have to click on space and with the colon and open curly brackets, enter. You have to provide a description. Description is equals to inbound rules, and from underscore port equals to port. Okay, you have to select this one because we are using the for loop here. For port you have to use this port here. Okay, so you have to use the 2 port also. Let's copy this from here. I don't want to make this video lengthy. Just right click and copy the code here and paste it here, enter. Let's set this to in correct syntax format, and you have to provide the 2 port is also to from port. Okay, port, enter. And for the protocol use the TCP because we use it the TCP for everything, and CIDR is for everything for the IPv4, and we need the IPv6 also, otherwise it will throw error. Okay, IPv6 underscore CIDR underscore blocks equals to open square brackets, close this one, and come out of this, and you have to provide the prefix underscore list underscore IDs, and equals to open square bracket and come out of this. Finally you have to open the security groups. Okay, security underscore groups equals to open square brackets, come out of this one, and you have to click on self is equals to false, equals to false. So that is fine. So let's add our user data also. Okay, save this one. So this will open all ports for our inbound rule. So you can see now our code is decreased so much. Okay, you can see we didn't open so many ingress for everything. Okay, we opened only one ingress for this 22 and 80 and 443 and 8080 and 9000. So this particular port will set this every rule open. Okay, so these 5 rules open on your security group for inbound. Okay, so let's add the user data. So add a new file and provide the name as install.sh. Okay, and click on enter, and let's go back to my browser and open my blog. Okay, so let's copy this particular code. Okay, let's copy this one. This will install Jenkins on your system. Go back to Visual Studio Code and paste this one, and for the installation of Docker, install Docker here. So add the Docker installation commands also. Go back to blog, and you can see here these are the Docker installation commands. Copy this and paste it here, and change the user here. Okay, so what is the user? Ubuntu. So let's remove this one also. So let's add the trivy, install trivy. So these are the scripts available on my blog. Okay, so these are the scripts that we use till now in our projects. Okay, to install Docker, to install Jenkins, everything. Okay, we need to run the container also, right? So SonarQube, let's paste this command also, and Control V and save it. and finally copy the trivy commands from here. So these are the trivy commands, and paste it here, and you have to click on save, and we need to call this particular shell script in our main.tfl file. You can come here, and under the security groups you have to provide the user data. Okay, so click on enter, and you have to provide the user underscore data. You can see this one, select this one, and you have to provide the template file here, and open this one with brackets, open brackets, dot slash. So where is our file is stored here? So in the same folder, right? That's why I'm providing the dot slash here, and provide install dot sh. So this is our file name, right? You can see install.sh, and this is the same file we are using, you can see. And you have to come out of this one, and comma, and open brackets for our variables. Whenever you want to use any variables, you can directly provide inside this particular square brackets, curly brackets. Okay, we are not using any variables here, and just click on save, and you can see we added the install.sh file. So it will install Jenkins, and it will install Docker, and it will run the SonarQube container, and finally it will install Trivy. And let's open this here, and let's write Terraform plan, and click on enter, and you can see 22 is added now. And let's go up and see. You can see, so it's opening 22 port, and you can see 443. So but we written only one ingress block here. Okay, so but we are using the for loop, and you can see source disk is set to true. And if you go up here for the user data, and you can see now it's provided a code for our user data also. Okay, and if you provide the Terraform apply hyphen auto approve, so don't use this one. Okay, so I know this particular code will work, that's why I'm using the auto approve. Okay, and you can see it's creating our security group, and it's creating our EC2 instance, and you can see it's completed, apply is completed. And let's go to the console, and let's see whether our application is whether our instance is up and running or not. Just refresh here, and you can see our Jenkins SonarQube is started now, and you can see it's initializing state. Okay, so with the Mumbai key pair, and the storage is set to 30 GB, and details. And if you open the security group here, so we created the Jenkins SG, right? Let's open it one, and you can see inbound rules is open for 8080, 9000, and 80, and 22, and 443. So use this one. Okay, so it will reduce your code time also. Okay, come back to console, and let's go back and see, copy the IP address, and see whether our Jenkins is installed or not. It will take some time to install on your so because user data will take some time to install everything. So let's select this one, copy the public IP, and open here with 8080. Okay, enter. So it will take some time. Meanwhile, so our SonarQube runs on 9000. Let's paste that also, and enter. So let's come back to console, and let's refresh this one, and you can see it's completed the 2x2 check status also. If you go back here, and let's refresh this one, and you can see Jenkins is installed. And if you refresh this one, you will get your SonarQube is also installed. Okay, so it will take some time, and you can see our Jenkins app is installed and up and running. So go back to our EC2 and click on connect. Let's see our container is running or not. Okay, so EC2 instant connect, and click on connect. So provide the Docker PS here, and you can see our SonarQube is up and running here. And let's refresh this one, and you can see our SonarQube is running here. Okay, so let's see our Trivy is installed or not. Okay, Control L, and if you provide Trivy hyphen version here, and you can see Trivy is also installed. So everything fine. Docker PS, and Docker is SonarQube is running. Let's copy this one, go to the EC2 connect, and provide a sudo and cat, and paste that one, and enter, and you will get the password for your Jenkins. Copy this one, and go back to here, and provide that, and click on continue. And for the SonarQube, provide the username and password is admin and click on login. And you can change the password also. Enter. And you can see this is our SonarQube dashboard, right? So we installed SonarQube and we installed Jenkins and we installed Trivian using the Terraform. So let's destroy this one by providing the Terraform destroy -auto -approve. I will provide everything, okay? Don't worry about the code. I will provide the blog link also, and I provide how to install Terraform and how to install AWS EC2 also, okay? Don't worry about that. And you can see this try is completed. If you go back to AWS console now, let's go back to EC2. You can see instances is running set to 0. Okay, that means it's completely deleted. Okay, so this is how you have to provision your EC2 instance with Jenkins install that one. Okay, so thanks for watching the video and keep on supporting.